Mm, mm. We're live. What's up, Jennifer Lacey?
Just coming right in.
I like it. So you got a brand new fancy computer over there, and it seems like you're having fun with it, huh?
I mean, fun, not really. I realize when you get new computer, that's great, except you have to reconnect everything and it doesn't remember everything. And those are when you're like, oh, I know what to do, push the button. Ooh, that button's not working. I got to go log in and I got to do this and I got to get the password and the verification and all that. So I'm just trying to like have a little grace and I'm not prepping very well.
I like it. The the thing that drives me the craziest is the dang passwords of all the stuff, right? Just like, oh God, here we go. And I've timed myself. And it's like that was like 3 minutes, but it still drives me nuts.
No.
Still drives me nuts.
Because it's not even like I know the password. Then you have to send an email to verify it. Then there's a code there. Then you got to go get the code from somewhere else to be able to come in. It's like all of that, which I know they're doing it to protect me, but like the time it takes, I'm just like, ugh.
Yes. Like just give me what I want. And look at that. We got a repeat offender, Mr. Jim.
Good morning. I got to see him yesterday morning. He was at the Ripple Intent
event
we did yesterday morning.
I missed it. He says, missed this chance. No, you haven't missed your chance to be a movie star, Jim. We're coming back. We're going to do it again in September.
Yes.
And by tomorrow, well, I take that back. By Monday, I should have a date plotted, some date options so that we can optimize. It seemed like Friday was not the best choice, and I was the one who made that, but we'll get some intel on that. Oh, look, and he's dealing with the new computer too. Something's going. Oh, look at that. My brother Lance.
Lance, good morning.
You haven't seen him in a while.
I know.
But it was his birthday this week.
Happy belated birthday.
Yes, I totally missed it. I intended to call him, what was it, Tuesday or Wednesday morning, but it was like 5:30 for me, which is 3:30 for him. And I was like, oh, I'll call him later. And then, so that's my excuse, Lance. Happy birthday, my brother. Glad you're here, my friend. Oh, man, we got people just jumping in. Mario coming in from the ATX. What's up, brother? Welcome back. Mr. Jared, you know that guy. Man, everybody's popping in.
Come on.
Abbas,
good morning.
Faithful supporter. And then Miss Sarah. Good morning, Sarah. Coming in from Facebook land. Jeez, like everybody's up and ready to go today, Jen.
I've been waiting. It's like, come on.
Yeah. So we're talking about how to make it stick, which is like sustain, the 5th S, which we'll get into a little bit more. And fair warning, if this is your first time, we're going to be talking about relationship stuff. And like making improvement stick after you put work into like getting it to where you want it to be. But before that, Jen is going to give us the housekeeping for the day.
Yes. So those of you that are out there, there's even more comments coming in. So this is like, my heart is already full. But those of you that are out there that are just coming across this crazy feed and have no idea what's going on with Jesse and I, and you want to let us know you're there. Or those of you that have been showing up, but you haven't really contributed to the conversation, our ask is in the comments. If you don't want to do anything else today, if you'll put a blue heart in the comments, and you can either write blue heart or you can right click and go to emojis and put a blue heart in there. That just lets us know you're there, but it also lets our tribe know that you're new to our group, and then they will connect with you, follow your content, and that helps us grow. So if you are out there and you're new or you're just coming across our feed, please put a blue heart in the comments so that we can connect with you.
Yes. So we can support and expand the community. And if you're a lurker, you get extra credit for doing it for the first time. I promise, because we love you. And when you put leave your comment, your thought, your question in the chat or the blue hearts, it will get you put into the randomizer. And so we will doing the randomizer at the top of the hour. And if your name gets selected, you will get free pass to a session of emotional bungee jumpers and the cultivation crew,
Yes.
which both are always, super, super awesome. And we have, we've got a good cycle of people coming in and experiencing that. And some of them get terrified, some of them don't. And so that's the whole purpose. How can we help people? Now,
Okay.
back to the comments.
Yes.
Mr. Josh Young. I'm surprised he led the portal with such stardom in the group. And it looks like, he aged about 15 years.
From the last picture to this one. We need to maybe a little more updated. Just saying.
I'm messing with you, Josh. You're looking good, my brother. And then we got Dr. Alejandra. I just interviewed her on the Learnings and Missteps podcast, international. She's from Monterrey, Mexico. She's come. She took the time to join us again. Thank you, Dr. Ale, who I think she's going to she's going to make a visit. I think more people are going to get to meet her in Arlington for Congress.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Mr. Adam Hoots, what's up, my brother?
Good morning.
All right, so we just bursted the bubble for Lance. He says, had to keep the birthday on. That's how you stay young. Got you, man. And that fool, yeah. You know what? I'm going to start practicing that again. All right, Jen. Sarah says, let's make it sticky. I love it.
We're going to lean on you for that, Sarah.
Yeah, you got to bring it. So folks, if you don't know, again, quick reminder, like your questions, your thoughts, your perspective, please share them, because Jen and I are going to be doing a bunch of talking. We're going to have an after party. So if you want to jump on the call after so you can like have dialogue and get to know each other better or whatever, do that. But it's really your comments, your thoughts that fuel this conversation. And more importantly, your cheat codes help the rest of the community. So if that message, Jen, is for the lurkers, right? Because I know they got massive experience. They just don't comment, and we still love you. But again, as one of us grows, we all grow. We're all here to leave this world better than we found it. And so sharing and contributing to each other's thoughts is exactly the name of the game here. And so making it so. What was the title? What title did you make me use?
How to make it stick, and then like is there a finish line? What is the finish line?
Is there a finish line? Yeah. So what is that? What do you think about that arrangement, those two thoughts? Where's the finish line and how to make it stick?
Well, one, they go together. And I think when we talk about lean specifically, or we talk about change, or we talk about, things that help us get better, I think sometimes at the beginning, you're like, I just got to get to that point. Once I can get to that point and check that box, I'm good. And I think in our minds, that's how we kind of live. And I think what we've realized in all of those areas, lean, change, continuous improvement, anything like that, relationships, there's not a finish line. And so it's what are those things right now that we know we need to change, or things we want to improve, and like, okay, we're going to work on that. And is there like a point to where now we're good, Jesse? Now there's trust. Now there's accountability. Now we're able to get along. Now, whatever those things are that you're trying to reach or trying to get to, or now we've got to know each other, we're good. And we just get to stop. We just get to hang out. We don't have to make any effort to do anything more. I don't think with humans you can do that. I think there's always that continuous improvement, and how can we get better, and what's next. Yeah,
no, I love it. And I love you point at the fact that we want to achieve, arrive, right? Like, okay, I did it. We're here. Everything's gonna be good. And it ain't like that, right? Like, I want to get to 200 pounds. And when I do, guess what? It don't, like, unless I rig up my scale, there's constant maintenance, micro decisions every day in order to maintain that level. It's the same thing with like improving a process at work or making work better in some way. Like, yes, you can deploy the thing and it's exciting. Like, hell yeah, we got it. We squeezed out whatever the time is. We brought the cycle time down, blah, blah, blah. And then you leave it alone and it goes back to where it was. Same thing with relationships, right? Okay, we went to see the counselor and I admitted my transgressions to you and whatever, and then I gotta change my behavior consistently. And so like all this relates to the 5th chapter of the book, right? Lean in Love. If you don't know, there is a book out there that Jen and I co-authored, Lean in Love, applying the 5S framework to our personal and professional relationships. And the 5th S, which is what this conversation is kind of framed around, is on sustain, right? So we sorted out all the stuff, we set things in order, we're shining it, we standardized it. That's what we talked about at the last live stream. And now we're talking about how in the hell do we make it stick? How do we sustain all of those other efforts so that we can continue to receive or deliver the same density of value? And so maybe that's one of the first questions to the folks out there in the Omniverse in terms of your relationships. And if you want to cheat and talk about like an improvement thing you did at work, that's fine, like whatever. But in terms of like healing, mending, or improving your relationships at work or at home, how do you make those improvements stick? Right? Or are you like, son of a gun, why do I have to keep working at it? Like, why does this take so much work? Do you think those are good questions, Jed?
They're great questions for the audience. I love this. And I think we need to hear their contributions to those answers.
Yeah. No, we'll get them in here for sure. And so, Jen, you've had bazillions of relationships. You're the famous lady. And so, like, how do you think about the maintenance or the sustaining of healthy relationships?
So one, the biggest thing that I'm learning right now, even though I've been in a lot of relationships, good, bad, or indifferent, is that they take work. And I think when relationships go sideways, or when trust goes away, or there's bad decisions happen, it is because people stop working. And I'm owning that, because I am one of those people that it was worth the effort, that it wasn't worth the effort. And when it stops being worth the effort, I needed to just get out. But instead, I just stopped working, which made it worse. And then it made it miserable for 2 people instead of just miserable for 1 person.
Yeah.
And so it's are you willing to put the work in because of what you're getting from it, the benefit from it, the outcome, the things that are important to you. If you're not willing to put the work in, again, it's okay. There's no judgment. If you're not willing to put the work in, there's a reason.
Yeah.
And I just think we don't stop and like reflect and understand, like, why is this so hard? Why do I have to put all this effort? Why, you and I talk a lot about, mainly you talk about things that you put in place and you're like, it should be good. I did this. It should be good. Why are they still mad? Why are they still upset? So it's like, when you're in that point, like, what's the conversation? It's not, I'll just keep putting Band-Aids on it. I'll just keep doing the things that make the other person happy. If you're somewhere, and again, we're talking more about the personal, those people relationships. If something is not happening the way you want it to, and in your mind, it's just like, I just got to keep doing this stuff. Like, evaluate why. Yeah,
totally. It makes me think, I don't remember. I made a post on one of the socials about like working in just horrible environments, right? And one of the questions I got was like, how do you motivate people to stay positive in an environment where respect is low, right? And it was interesting because my first thought was like, I motivate them to freaking leave. And like I do, but it wasn't super clear to me. And I think what the expectation was from the person that asked the question was that I would give advice on how to stay in the environment to make it better, right? And I'm like, so there's kind of two thoughts there. And talking about like in the workspace, like at work, or even in the personal space, I think it applies. It's like, if the other parties are committed to making it better, are committed to putting in some work, some effort to make the thing better, then I would recommend this, right? Like whatever it is.
Mhm.
Do something to make it work, have the conversation, blah, blah, blah. But if they are not committed or in agreement about the thing being a problem or committed to putting in any effort, freaking find another place. Like, and again, dating, and yes, I'm going to say marriage, work, like all of those things. If you're, and maybe this may be wrong, but if you're the only one committed to making anything happen, and there's like a relationship, multiple people, right, that are not just contributing to the thing but receiving from the thing, and the other people don't want to, why are you, I mean, this is the way I operate now, but why bother? Like, freaking move on. Am I just selfish? What do you think?
Well, Jesse, I want to add to that, because I was having a conversation with someone recently that I want to look at the other side of that. If you're the person that's always complaining about it, you're the person that's always like, oh, why do I do, like, maybe you're the problem. Like, and I think sometimes, like, it's hard for us to go, well, it's not me. Like, I put this effort in, I've done this, I've made, and when you're that, when those are the things you're saying to the close friends you have, and you're the one complaining to them about what someone else isn't willing to do, and I've put all this effort in, and I've done, like, when you catch yourself, and maybe you should stop and listen to what you're saying, when you catch yourself having more of those conversations with people not in the middle of the problem, maybe you're the problem.
Ooh. Okay. Oh man, that's a big deal. Which kind of reminds me, I've said this before, but it's like, don't complain about anything you're not prepared to take action on, right? And so for me, that's the tripwire to like, wait a minute, maybe it's me. And I think it also brings up the point where a lot of people they want attention for their problem. They don't want to take action on their problem.
Oh, yes. They want sympathy. They want sympathy. They want you. They want accomplices. They want people around them that are like, oh, Jesse, poor you. Like, they don't even know what they're missing out on. And they should be so much nicer to you. And like, that's what they want, versus Jesse. Get your ass up and just go. Like, they need people calling them out a little bit.
Yes, 100%. Oh, now the comments are coming in. Oh my goodness, look at this guy.
What? And guess what? He's going to be in Arlington presenting.
Yes, Mr. Thomas LeMay. It's going to be a big blow up here in Arlington. I'm in Arlington today, by the way, folks, getting ready for Congress. Thomas LeMay says, how to motivate people, just like on an airplane. I like it that he uses the airplane analogy because he's got airplane issues. Just like on an airplane, put the mask on first, dig in, start getting after it, rough set, then take action. I will agree with that, right? Like, okay, if I don't like it, specifically in like either situation, work or relationship, like, okay, there's a problem. The easy button is to bail out, right?
Mm-hmm. Or to complain.
Right? Like, just go, yes. But don't complain, do something, get a rough rep in, and then gather the intel. What does the intel tell you? Make a decision based on the intel. He's like the OODA loop, right? Observe, orient, decide, act. Same thing. Appreciate you, Mr. Thomas. Miss Sarah says, for me, the improvement, back kind of reinforcing what you just said, Jen. For me, the improvement started with me. I had to work through my traumas to trust myself again. I had to remove my judgments. I focused on what I could control, which is me. I focused on how I could be the best version of myself. Allowing others to fail, was also a hard lesson. So let's go there, Jen. In this improvement, like in the world of improving your relationships, getting them to like optimal level, is it appropriate to leave space for them to fail and do things wrong?
I mean, again, we have to. I'm gonna go start with home, and then I'll go to work. But it's the way one, like, how did we learn how to do things when we were younger? How did we, like, how did we learn how to ride a bike? How did we learn how to do those things? Like, we didn't just get on and we were great at it. And as a parent of, teenage daughters, like, it's so easy to be able to, like, put the cushions around them and help them get to not hurt and to not, get, just different things to happen in their lives. And I have to, like, make myself, like, back up and, like, let them process through it and let them work through it. And then at the end, when there's tears or they're mad or they're frustrated, then, like, how do they cope with that? Like, it's one of those that it's so easy to mitigate it because we've been through it. And because we pretty much know what the outcome is going to be sometimes, and that we can, like, circumvent it and things like that, but it doesn't help them learn those skills. So it's like having to back up and watch someone having a meltdown or their heart being broken, and then, like, letting them work through it. And then when they get done and they come and ask a question, you can, like, kind of ask the questions and see where they are and help them process it. Like, I'm looking at that from a parent, but it's the same thing in the workplace. You see something that you've kind of been able to see and watch, and you know what's going to happen. And as long as, like, you're being safe and someone's not going to get hurt, like, you almost have to let them work through that to understand it. Because you saying it, Jesse, I've done that. I already tried that. It's not going to work. Like, there's some people that will be like, okay, well, I'm not going to waste my time. There's other people who are going to go, but it's Jesse. And maybe Jesse didn't do it right. And maybe Jesse didn't really take the time to do it right. So, like, I think I can probably, and so you're going to have all these things in your head. So just let them do it. Let them try it. Yeah. Let them see where it's going to get them. And then in the end, you're not having to tell them because they're experiencing it.
Yes. They got to go through the rough part. Right. And so and Sarah, thank you for bringing that. And Jen, I know that you've been practicing that a lot, like a new skill that you've been building, but it is that, right? Like, if I'm pissed off about people not doing things perfectly as per Jesse, that's just an unreasonable expectation. And I think a lot of people, and again, managers, leaders, husbands, wives, like parents, all of the things, maybe I want to say it this way, out there in the Omniverse, when you find yourself getting really irritated with the way people are doing things or responding or whatever, I want you to, like, reflect, really think hard. How explicit were you about how you wanted them to do the thing? And I'm going to give you a silly example, but it's not silly. It's a real example. But it's silly because only I would have this experience, right? Seeing people hugging, right? I have a thing about touch, right? I'm like, it's a little weird for me. Anyways, a friend of mine, Michelle, amazing friend. One time she told me, she's like, Jesse, like, why do you, like, she's like, you either do the half hug or you, like, you lock your fingers. And I said, well, the truth was this. I did the half hug because the hugging was, it's out of my comfort zone, right? Touch, like physical touch with other people is kind of out of my comfort zone. And I've been working on it. But she had pointed out that I always did the half hug. So I said, okay, I'll start hugging. Like, okay, I'll do the whole hug. Like, I don't understand the difference, but it's a thing for people. So I'll do it.
Heart to heart.
Right. But she noticed that I would lock my fingers, and she's like, why do you do that? And I was like, oh, because it's, like, less energy. Because then I don't have to, like, hold my arms up. I just kind of hang there until I can tell you don't want to hug no more. And then I stop hugging. Right now, why do I bring up that example? She helped me get this done, but she helped me get better at hugging because she would point out very specific things that I was doing that I'm not aware of. I didn't know that people like double armed hugs, right? Like, I didn't know. And I didn't know that my interlocking of my fingers, because I'm, conserving calories, was a weird thing. Like, and anyway, the whole point is she was explicit about what she was looking for. And so back to kind of the point to the folks out there in the Omniverse is, really examine your frustrations about what the people around you are doing or not doing. And for real, like how explicit were you about what you wanted or how you like it or how it should be done? My money says you're nowhere near as explicit as you need to be. And I've got an exercise that proves that over and over that will be getting performed in Arlington at Congress.
Yes.
Okay, so we got a bunch of really great comments. Wait a minute. Who's this rascal?
Hello, Steve Martin.
Steve Martin, we haven't heard from Steven. How you doing, my brother? So Dr. Alejandra says, the first win is always the awareness that you have to do something instead of just suffering through the problem, right? We got another reinforcing comment coming from Mr. Steve, the chief marketeer. He says, what needs to change to make it stick? Friggin' ownership. What do you think about that? Like, is ownership, how valuable is ownership in terms of sustaining improvements and work, like the work that's being put into making things, your relationships better?
Yes. So I have an example, which is really cool because it's one of those that came up based on Josh, something Josh did early 8-10 years ago with one of our leaders. And now we're actually going to bring that idea to Congress this year as ownership. Like, what does that look like within a project team? And so Josh gave one of his friends early on in his career a little compact mirror, like a mirror, and he gave it to him with kind of a little bit of and he said and this is they're both earlier in their career, but they're high achievers, they're doing some big things. And he said, when you're dealing with a problem or you're dealing with something big or you're trying to navigate through stuff, pull it out and look at it and ask, how did you contribute to that?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, the ownership piece of now when it doesn't matter what role you're in, but when you're in the middle of something, about to lose your crap, or you're frustrated, or someone's coming and complaining about something, like, stop, take a moment. How did I contribute to this?
Yes.
Because I think that moment, sometimes you had nothing to do with it. You just happened to be in a role where they're coming and they're saying stuff to you. But I think there's also times where we don't stop and go, ooh, like, I did not do these things. And I had an issue yesterday with schedule that I was having to run around crazy and make something work because I had to work in something specific for my kids.
Yes.
If I'm like complaining and this is making my day so crazy, and then I had to stop and go, well, if I would have put this stuff on my calendar, if I would have asked the questions, if I would have done the things that I already knew needed to happen, none of this would be happening right now.
Would be a non-issue.
So it's like I can be frustrated, but I have to start with me.
Yes. Oh, I love it. So ownership is a big deal. Clearly. All right. So we've got a couple more. Oh man, we got Mr. Milo. Where'd he go? Mr. Milo, what you been up to, my friend? He says, to me, when it comes to relationships, it all comes down to setting clear expectations by having comfortable and uncomfortable conversations and holding parties accountable. Yes. Now, y'all already know I'm twisted. I don't see accountability the way most people see it. And so maybe this will help you. This is not in disagreement. It's just, I see it different, right? And this accountability thing, right? And I love, he says, setting clear expectations, having the comfortable and uncomfortable conversations. And then I think we skip a big step in saying, now we can hold people accountable. I don't think that's possible without a commitment, right? Yes, communicate the expectations, 100% correct, clear. These are the expectations. This is what I want, la, 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 whatever that is. Then there's the middle piece of actually securing the commitment. Are you committed? Are you willing? Will you do? Will you try? Right? Like, are you going to do this? Yes, no. Or are you going to do some version of it or whatever? So once the commitment has been secured, the accountability thing takes care of itself. And I think that's part of my personal opinion is we hammer this, hold people accountable, got to keep people accountable. It's like, no, you don't have to do that if you would freaking secure commitments. And what you will find is unaccountable people will not make a commitment. And then you have to hold them accountable. Anyways.
Well, I can't commit you, Jesse.
You cannot commit.
Like, and that I think we forget. Like, well, we went through, we did these things, we created what we needed to do, we created even how we're going to measure it, and now we're going to do it, and then we're going to see where we are. That sounds great, but if you don't get buy-in from the people that are having to do it, then like, okay, whatever happens. Like, is that who's accountable? Who's like, you have this accountability, but who's accountable?
Right. Me. I am accountable to my commitments, period. Meaning I'm going to take ownership of them, and I will report and say, I'm on it. I need to pick it up. But if you commit me to something that I didn't say, hell yeah, I don't care what the outcome is. Like, okay, whatever. Like, you can judge me and I will be fine because I did not commit to it. Anyway, maybe it's splitting hairs, but that's helped me tremendously. But ultimately, Milo he's making an excellent point. And then Mario also says it takes two, right? We got to have the conversations, the comfortable and the uncomfortable conversations. And back to what you were pointing on around Josh's thing that he's going to be talking about, the mirror, is what is my contribution to the situation, to the current experience? Because stealing Sean Moran's quote, we are at least 1% of the problem. Of every single problem we are dealing with, we individuals are at least 1% of that. And in most cases, way freaking more. So we're contributing all the time. We're really great at taking credit for contributing to beautiful, awesome outcomes. But we also contribute to the stinky ones. And I think we need to take that into account. So I'm going to post a quote. We got a couple more comments that are good.
Yes.
We got a new commenter, so we're going to make sure we swarm them.
Yes.
But let me post the next question for people to chew on, because we haven't even got to the first one, Jen.
I know.
So if your relationships, now we're talking about making it stick, and we've already established, right? Super, super clear ownership, expectations, accountability, commitment. All of those things are like foundational to have something to improve upon.
Yes.
Now, if your relationships had a maintenance schedule, what would be the first thing on the checklist? And feel free to delineate between your personal relationships and your professional relationships. But the vehicle, the car needs to get oil change. I got to put gas. I got to make sure the wiper fluid is at the appropriate level. Like, there are little things that I have to do, that we all have to do, to make sure that it functions and operates properly. And when we don't do those things, we start having problems. And those problems start small, but they get bigger. And then all the lights on your dashboard are bleeping and then like, red alert. I think it's the same thing with and that's why I love this question. It's like, for real, in your relationships, if you had a maintenance schedule or the dashboard, right? What would be the first thing on the checklist? Leave your thoughts in the comments, because I got to go and share some of the wisdom that's coming in. Mr. Thomas, breaking it down, baby, actionable. He says, isolate the smallest, most achievable, most critical thing the team can accomplish in the next 24. Oh, I love that. The time-bound element, Thomas, gangsta. Explicitly define what done looks like, right? Once that goal is achieved, stop, acknowledge it. Excellent work. Okay, what's next? I mean, y'all need to take a screenshot of that. Like,
Yes.
For real. Like, that is a formula that can be plugged into your relationships with your kids, with your brothers, with your parents. Like, what's the deal? The team, me and the kid, me and my brother, me and my mom. All right. What can we accomplish in the next 24 hours to remedy this thing, to make this thing more gooder? This is what's going to look like when we're done. And once we hit that shit, hell yeah, let's do it. Now what? Because now we're building momentum, right? We're building some evidence that it is possible for us to make this thing better. Oh my God, that was solid, bro. Thank you, Thomas. We got LinkedIn user, and I got his name, Halisi. What's going on, my friend? He says, Sarah, great question. Jennifer, great explanation. Workplaces should have a safe place to fail so employees can feel comfortable learning.
Mhm.
I agree. And I'm going to add, because I'm just a jerk, once. You get to fail once. Don't be making the same mistake over and over, man. But that's also, if I have somebody that's making the same mistake multiple times, maybe my teaching method, my ability to coach and develop those people needs a look-see. Like for real, I had one guy, oh my God, he's an apprentice. 2 years he worked with me, and I could not make any progress with him. And like, I tried everything, and I've had a lot of success with a lot of apprentices back then. Finally, I'm like, that's it. Like, I was always working on it, right? He was not committed to it. I was totally committed to it. And 2 years, what ended up happening is, for 2 years, I was hyper-focused on this one guy when I could have been developing a dozen more over that time. Anyways, finally, I'm like, take him. This ain't going to work. I'm not getting anywhere, whatever. He goes to work with another journeyman, and boom, he did the things that he needed to do to get to do the apprenticeship, get his license. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, I knew he had it in him. I just couldn't get it out of him. Mm-hmm. And so what do you think about that, Jen? Is that like an important thing to keep in the back of our head? Like, maybe we're just not the right flavor to make this relationship blossom into what we think it can be.
Well, there's a couple of things. I think it's understanding that when there is a fail, so we're talking about, it's okay. It has to be okay to fail, and we have to be able to, help them know that it's okay to fail. And then what did they learn from it? How are they going to grow? Things like that. I still feel, even when there's a fail, even if we're allowing it, like, we contributed to it in some way.
Yes.
And so there's that piece. But I want to use my answer to this question to kind of dig in.
Okay, bring it.
So if your relationships had a maintenance schedule, what would be the first thing on your checklist? For me, no matter what the relationship is, personal, professional, best friends, or people that I'm just kind of getting to know, the very first thing on my list is check in. So no matter what it is, and I'll give some examples, is check in on your people. Because no matter what, whether I've seen them, I haven't seen them in 6 months, whether I see them every day, like, you're whatever the cadence is, you kind of know, when they're thriving, when they're happy, when they're excited, and maybe when they're a little off. And we're really good at, when things are going sideways, to check in with either a reprimand or a sit down or a back shed, whatever it is. Like, we're really good at that when things are going sideways, like to the point of they've fallen off the wagon. But there's points where, and I had one recently where I was on a meeting with someone that I'm on meetings with all the time and have been on meetings with them. And he shows up, and he's one of those that's got the agenda. He knows what he's going to talk about. Like, he's I know he's one of those that shows up prepared.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah, like you. And so he comes in to the meeting, and it's like, he didn't really look at what we were going to cover. He wasn't really sure what we were going to accomplish. And I was just observing the meeting. I wasn't really a participant. And I just saw like, and I'm just like, ooh, this is not typical of him. So we got done with the meeting. They got through it. And afterwards, and I'm like, hey, how are you doing? Like, and I think we think it's so much more. Hey.
Right.
And literally sometimes that one question, or, hey, what's going on? Or, hey, is everything good? Like, we don't realize the power of those questions to people that just need or starving for somewhere to be able to share it.
Yes.
And I think we don't have to have the answers. We might not even know what they're going to say, but by me just opening the door and asking it, it then became a phone call. Then it became the kind of the frustrations he's dealing with, and that things he's overwhelmed with, and things that he's trying to get, he's anyway, some things that like didn't have anything to do with me, but he got them out.
Yep.
And then now I'm kind of aware of the things that and then I know other things happening, and then I go, ooh, I know that's going to help him. And so then the next time I saw him on the meet, he's Johnny on the spot doing what I know. So it's like, but I had some insight, so then I can go, hey, I saw this, great job. So it goes back even to the acknowledge it, recognize it, then, hey, what's next? Like some of those things that it just takes the check-in, because they're just doing their job. And I know a lot of you out there, because I had this said to me, like, why do we have to acknowledge, or why do we have to check into people when they just need to do their job? And I get it, but life's hard. Even doing our job that we get paid for is hard. And we are human beings. To just know that people see us, to know that people hear us, and that they care about like something that we have to say could make a difference in just how someone does their job. And I think we forget that didn't cost much money, maybe a little bit of time. It doesn't cost anything to just check in on your people.
Yes. So, well, clearly you're not the only one. Our brother Aaron coming in from Canada. He says, if there's a maintenance, the schedule, the first thing for me is follow up. Same thing, right? Check in, follow up. I want to add to what you just kind of finished saying. I get the thinking of like, why should I have to freaking give them feedback and pamper them? Like, they got a job, just do your freaking job. I get that, right? Why should I have to do that? And I want to say this. You don't have to, right? Keep doing it your way, and you are going to get the minimum from your people. And you're going to be pissed off, and you're going to think it's a talent thing. You're going to think it's an initiative thing. You're going to think it's a generational thing. And baby, let me tell you, it's you, fool. Now, do the check-in. And you know what that does? Like you said, inexpensive, human, deep and impactful. Do the check-in. You know what you're going to get? You are going to get discretionary effort. You are going to get more than they're willing to give to anybody else, because you showed interest in them as a human being. You will get the magic sauce. You will get beyond like the go above and beyond and think outside the box. You'll get that bullshit. Just be cool, man. Like, come on. But you don't have to. And if you look around and you're surrounded with mediocre turkeys, guess what? You're a turkey. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking too much, but that's what I think. Whether you like it or not, if you don't, call my mom. Jared Wilson says, communication. I talk a lot. I can't take one word. Ooh, this is interesting. I can't take one word responses. I end walking away feeling the message didn't hit, or there's unanswered questions. So is that like a trigger to like, ooh, I need to have some conversation around this maintenance, the maintenance checklist? What do you think about that, Jen? I think there's a lot there, but I don't want to go too deep into it.
I'm sure, and if he's still listening, he can give us some. I think it was the challenge of like what is the things that we need to focus on.
Yeah.
I think for him, some of it's that self-reflection of he likes to talk a lot. So when people don't talk a lot, like
it's a signal.
It's a signal to something.
Got it. Yeah. The other thing I'll add is think about the questions you ask, right? Because if you're asking yes or no questions,
you're getting short responses.
You're going to get very, very like for real. That's a technical, mechanical thing. Like, do you have everything you need? Yes. No. What can I do to make your job easier? That's a different question. Same intent, right? And so that may be a thing, but I think also maybe like if now that I know Jared on my Jared relationship checklist, I'm going to say checklist number 1, say more than one word when you're talking to Jared. And I know I'm saying it kind of goofy, but like for real, if I know that because you've been explicit about what it is, I'm going to put in effort to make sure that I don't send a signal that you could interpret as me not appreciating you, because I do. And now that I know the one-word answer produces an outcome I don't want, I can take that into account and have that on my checklist. You see how I did that, Jen?
I did. And I want to add, just based on what I said earlier, like, is everything okay? It's very easy for someone who's not okay to go,
yep.
Yes. Versus, hey,
yes.
I've noticed these things, like, what's going on?
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be super technical. It doesn't have to be anything more than just leave it open. And the number one, I guess the second thing I think is important for you to understand is if you notice it and they're a little maybe hesitant, just let there be space.
Yeah.
Because they may not know where you're coming from. They may they may think you're about to attack and do something. Ask the question and then let there be space. And then based on their response and how they react, then you can worry about what's next. But don't go in with any preconceived, this is what I think it is. This is what I think they're going to tell me, or this is what I want to tell them after they tell me this. Like, just leave it all out and just put the question out there and see what happens.
Yeah. Let it percolate, right? Because they're expected, they are going through things. And it could be a very heavy emotional thing, and that's okay. Dr. Alejandra says, maintenance checklist number 1. Oh, I love this. Have we established, practiced, honed a communication channel that works? Freaking gangsta. Like, man, like, okay, that's what we need on the speed dating, right? Question number 1. How are we going to communicate? How can we practice it? What are the channels, right? And when I hear channels, I think of text, phone, email, and we'll say socials, right? Like, what is the channel that we're going to agree to? I mean, maybe some people are like, well, duh. It's like, okay, but how many people are you pissing off? And do you even know that this may be it? I think that's super, super gangster.
And just drop that. Like, don't make assumptions. Just because you think you know something, like, don't make assumptions. Just ask the question.
Yes, yes. Jesse, why haven't you returned my call? It ain't because I'm mad at you, or right? Like, that's not because I'm mad at you. I promise you. It's not because of that. It's because I'm either in my dungeon, like zoning in and doing stuff, or flying around, or being lazy. It ain't because I don't like you, because I promise you, if I don't like you, I don't appreciate you. You will know. Like, you will absolutely know. So you don't have to worry about that. Steve Martin, Chief Marketeer, says, first on the maintenance checklist, similar to kind of
very, very close to Alejandro. Yeah.
Is, did we follow the process we agreed to follow? Which takes us back to Milo's comment, right? What are the expectations? What about the commitment, right? Like, there's a lot of themes here. And again, Steve also says, not securing the commitment, hashtag blownership. Yes, like, you've blown it. Like, you've set yourself up for failure. And it's a lot of your fault. Not only your fault, a lot of your fault. What do you think so far? Do you think we got some good tips in there?
Yes, but Jared did come back with the second red signals that he was responding back to our question back to him.
Okay, let me see if I can find them, because we got
a lot going on over there, which is great.
There's a lot coming in. I love it.
Just to wrap up that.
Here it is. Yes, there it is. There it is. He said, yes, signal. Typically, these questions need more than one word, and it quickly throws a flag in my head that something else is going on. So that's a say, like, okay, I need to go. Got it. Of course. Good point. And so there's a point. You kind of said it, Jen, and I think Jared reinforcing it from a different perspective. Your people out there, look for the signals and check back to your checklist. Number 1, check in on your people, right? Check in on your people.
It's not hard. It's not like these are people that you're texting, you're emailing, you're already in place with. Like, if you are just paying attention, like, you don't have to do a whole lot more than what you're already doing. It's just pay attention. Just ask the question. Some of them are going to be like, they're going to be like, Jesse, like, don't hug me, don't touch me, whatever. There's going to be people like that, and that's okay. But they know that someone out there is seeing it and observing it and willing to at least ask the question.
Yes. Oh, look at this. Miss Elizabeth.
Good morning, Elizabeth.
You know, it's awesome. Like, what was it, May, June? She's like, hey, Jess, I summertime is heavy time for her business, right? Picasso Contracting. And she's like, I got a lot going on. I said, no problem. And here it is, school started up, and she's showing up again, and dedicated, hardworking, community member, tribe member. She said, good morning. If you do the small thing of checking in or giving the recognition, it goes a long way. That's how we have loyalty at Picasso, because that's her number one as a leader. So she is the leader of the organization, and she does. I know that she regularly posts celebrating and elevating her people, like all of her people. And so, of course, like, she's not going to get the picture if she's not there with them, checking in and seeing how things are going. And so I make that point to say that there's tremendous business value in like being cool and checking in with your people. All right.
So I have a question for you though. I want to pose, just based on this thread, is
Yep.
Are there certain positions and titles that can do that versus people that are entry level coming in that don't really have a lot of weight or pull within a company? Like, is there a need to do it in a different position? Does it matter?
Yeah. So I think I'm going to start answering it this way. Like, no, it doesn't matter. Freaking be a human being, because you know what? Everybody's a human being. Like, for real, I promise you guys, everybody is human. So from that perspective, check in on your people. If you notice, you like Jared's comment, like a one-word answer, that's a red flag to maybe do a little more investigation. I know it's uncomfortable. And so maybe from that perspective, if you're like a youngling and new into your industry and your career, start now, because it is uncomfortable. So start getting the reps in now, because people will remember you just because you demonstrated interest. I know it sounds dumb, but I promise you, there are so many of us that do not demonstrate interest in another human being, so much so that when somebody does, it's like, that's why guys fall in love with the cashier at the gas station or the stripper, because they got a little bit of attention all of a sudden, right? Like, I think she likes me. Why? Because she said, have a good day. That's her job, fool. Right? Like, for real, this happens. So, or maybe just to me, I don't know. Point being, if you're new, it doesn't matter what level, where you are in your career, show interest in other human beings. Now, I'm going to go also say something maybe contradictory, but the more influence and like formal influence and responsibility that you have within an organization, it's your damn job, dummy. Like, I'm sorry, but freaking put it on your calendar to check in with people, because like, I understand that it gets harder the more responsibility you have. You got meetings and whatever, and you know, people are mature, and if you're the department head, you have senior people under you that have PM, like mid-level, and and so they're all mature and they should not need it. They're all freaking human, man. And so, yes, you have a lot of things that are pulling, leveraging your time, right? Like, they're pulling on it. So make it like, I think the more responsibility and authority you have within an organization formally is all the more reason to systematize it and put it on your damn calendar, have a regular cadence, whatever it is you need to do to make sure you do it, because there's no excuse for you not to. And when people demonstrate what they see. Mm-hmm. And so if you're not doing it, I promise you, your direct reports are not doing it, and they're not doing it for their direct report. And then, so you're cascading this problem. But if you go and reach out, and I don't care if it's weekly, like, I'm technically put on your calendar once a week, whatever the frequency is, your people will do it too. When you do it, don't tell them to do it, freaking do it, but make it a part of your system. I don't know. Did I muddy the water?
No, you did good. So I had two follow-ups. One is I want to talk about I just recently read a book called The Way of the Shepherd. And one of the points in there is like, check on your flock. Like to know like what is there things that are hurting? Is there things that are, is there holes in different, like whatever it is, like just check on your flock, like check on your people. Like, and it's so simple, but like, I think that we forget because they're doing their job. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Like, that's okay for you to still acknowledge and tell them you see them, or you see something's not okay. Like, okay, what can I do to help them, to serve them? And then I want to go back and challenge you to answer it from a personal relationship, on not like letting things fester, not having the stinky conversations, not calling a spade because it may get a little icky, and then what that can turn into.
Yes. So first I want to deflect and shout out another brother from freaking Canada. We're like super international today.
Right?
We might get hit with tariffs, Jen, because we got people coming in from Canada and Mexico. Hopefully we won't get canceled. But Mr. Craig says it's your job as a senior, and I think that's it. Like, it's your job now. Yep. It's not like an optional human thing. Nope. It's your freaking job, ding dong, do it. Anyways, back to your question. What was it about personal
relationships, which I know you love, and it's your favorite topic. And I know you can probably pull some very personal examples of what happens when we relate what we just talked about to personal relationships, on something that we see that we don't acknowledge, something that we don't want to talk about because it could be uncomfortable, or it's a little stinky, so we just kind of it'll be fine. Well, it'll work itself out. How does that turn out?
You use the perfect word. It just festers and builds resentment, right? Like 100%, it is the most caustic thing that we can do, is be irritated, disappointed, hurt by somebody's behavior, action, comment, freaking face. Like, people make faces, right? And read into it, and then just let that thing freaking bubble and bubble and bubble and bubble. Like, that's horrible, but so many of us do that. And I'll give a vulnerable example. One of my ex-wives, when we finally sat down, like, she was like, Jess, I want a divorce. I'm like, oh, like what? I thought everything was amazing, because it was amazing for me, not for her. Anyways, we went through the whole thing, right? Fine. I was like, no, please, I'll behave. And we about a month long, and then finally, like, she went to therapy. I'll go to therapy. She says, no, I don't want to even be around you anymore. Like, I need to go to therapy. I was like, shit, okay. And it was like from one day to the next that came out.
Yeah.
But for 2 years I felt it, and I just kind of like, well, if she don't say nothing, that's on her, right? That was my thinking. Like, that's on her. She needs to say something. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. So it got to the point where she hated me, right? She had hatred for me because of the resentment. And the root of it was, which was an important thing, back to Milo's comment, had we had this conversation, or had I had the maturity back then to, like, let's really talk about things. What she expected out of our relationship was for me to work and spend every other second of my life with her. And of course, I get that, right? Because I mean, look, of course she wanted all of me as much as she could. I did. So it didn't matter if I was going to night school, at the bar, fishing, working out. It didn't matter what I was doing. The fact that I wasn't home with her was every time I came home late and stayed out and went on a fishing trip and played ball and just got, all the dumb shit that I was doing, all of those were microcuts. Mm-hmm. And so she never said anything. I would get in trouble. Like, don't get me wrong. She would tell me, like, you're late again. And you're like, and I'm like, oh yeah, right. So I won't be late next time. You stayed out with the guys again. Okay, I won't stay out, for a few days. I'll score some points and then I'm gonna do it again. The words, Jesse, I just want you home with me, never came out of her mouth. Sure, some people are gonna say, well, you should know that. Whatever. I don't. Like, you need to tell me what you want, and I will work hard to give it to you, or I will be clear, like, oh, I'm not going to give that to you. So maybe we need to have a different conversation. Anyways, the point was this. that just festered and festered and festered and festered to the point where she was disgusted with me and couldn't stand me anymore. And I had no idea. And so I think the opposite for me, when I see something, I'm like, look, there's a thing. Like I don't appreciate that, or that didn't feel good. Where was that coming from? So that we could just like, I don't want to wonder, because wondering is the work. Like for me, I'd rather have the pain than the torture of wondering what did they mean, what is they thinking, like forget it, like let's just figure it out, let's just get straight to it and be done with it. How'd I do?
That was great. And I mean, one, thank you for getting a little personal on that, but I mean, it goes to the point of just the communication piece. I mean, I've been on the other side where I was the receiver of some expectations that weren't clear. And so it was, hey, you know, I want to make sure that every night I hear from you, long distance relationship. Every night I know that you're safe, you're home, you're whatever. I travel, I do a lot of stuff. And I just was resenting having to like check in. And again, I didn't clarify. I didn't go, hey, I'm going to be out of town and I'm going to get in late and I don't want, like there was no communication on my part on how it was making me mad and how it was frustrating me. It was just me building up of like, why do I have to do this? And do they not trust me? And it just became this thing to where I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yes.
And obviously it didn't end well, but it was one of those where like, at no point did I go like, why do you need this from me? Or, hey, this is really frustrating me, or this is bothering me. Like there was none of that happened until it blew up.
Yes. So don't wait, right? Like, I think that's the thing. As soon as it feels funky, freaking bring it up. Like, again, Milo said it, have the comfortable and the uncomfortable conversations. Yep. Jen, can you believe we're already at the top of the
hour? Gosh, no. Like, did you get more than one question out so far?
No, only one. So, but it's time for the randomizer.
So randomizer first, then we'll go to the next question.
Yes. Hang on. Let me change the view here. Randomizer, building the anticipation. All right, here we go. There's 16 people in the drawing.
What's a new name? Yes! Happy birthday!
Oh, yeah, that is freaking awesome. Happy birthday, Lance. You already know the deal. And since he's already like an active emotional bungee jumper. So I'll get you the link, my brother, and then you can gift it to somebody that you want to torture. But Lance, congratulations, my friend. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we got about 12 minutes left. We got a lot of beautiful comments. Yes, I want to make sure that we don't, and I don't want to make anybody feel neglected, right? Like I promise. Dr. Ale says, this is becoming a powerful checklist ready to print and put it up on your monitors. #NowWeKnow. Oh man, I love it. And again, Dr. Alejandra, thank you, because yes, we said it at the top of the call, is the practices, the tips that the tribe brings to the conversation is the meat of the value. I'm just here because I'm beautiful. Yes. Right? Like I don't know. I don't
keep them in line.
Yeah. And Jen's the chaperone, but it is the No BS tribe that really bring it to us. And so back to the checklist. Thomas says, using a checklist while doing maintenance. Using the checklist while doing maintenance helps you overcome a common bias to skip steps or strategize when rushed under stress. This is why we hire wedding planners, insurance agents, and general contractors so that they can. I don't know about the last one, but I'll give you some slack there, Thomas, because you're a baller. Because they're going to follow the checklist, right? Like do the checklist. But if you don't have a checklist, guess what? You're destined to recreate the same negative stuff that you've been swimming in for long times. All right, Jen, what you got for us?
No, I mean, again, one, you've got so many comments, and Thomas just put a great one, so we'll just make sure because he's referencing me.
Yeah, there he is. He says, Jen Lacey, know well the condition of your flock. So y'all been through, again, give attention to your herds. As a leader, you don't just lead a list of names. You must know the conditions of each member. And I'm going to, and Craig said it, right? It's your job, right? Like entry level, that's not your job. Mid manager, you got to start getting good at it. But once you start, you get a senior level directorship, VP, blah, 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 blah. Like, what the hell are you doing, dummy? I mean, it's weak sauce. It's total freaking weak sauce not to be doing it. All right. Sorry, Jay. Go.
No, and a cheat code for those of you that are younger and it's not your job. When you do it, you gain insight and knowledge that is going to help catapult your career.
Yes. 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 Oh my goodness. Yes. The intel, right? Like for me, it's the intel. We were talking about this on the cultivation crew, is like, be the last to speak. Don't. There's a lot of techniques that we're talking about for people in leadership roles. And the way I think about it is so that we can get intel to really understand what motivates our people, what our people appreciate, what are the gaps in their thinking, and how can I better contribute to their success that's in alignment with the success of the overall goal. I can't do that if I'm talking. I have to be listening, right? I have to be asking questions.
Well, I want to add to that I want to add to that point because I think people need to really hear what you're saying right now.
Let's say it.
Well, people like Jesse, our innate need to have people around us that like care about what we say and care about us. Like if you're someone that's around me, Jesse, and you ask me questions and you listen, I want to be around you more. Because I want to be around people that like care about what I say. So then if you're someone who asks questions and people know that like you're genuinely wanting to know how they are, like you're going to grow the people around you. Yes, they got your back. Yes, you're going to be able to have your tribe, things like that. But they're also going to be people that like, I got an issue. Hey, can I just bounce this off you? Hey, I ran into this one. Hey, have you run into this before? Like you're going to be their default when they need it, not when you are just doing it to check in, but when they need it, they know someone that will listen. And that listening, getting that skill to where you don't have to be the first to talk. You don't know the answer. You may not even know where the conversation is going to go. When you can get in a place where you're good and comfortable with that, it's next level.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the couple things based on what you said that kind of popped up in my head as you were talking about it is, number one, by asking, checking in, listening, you become a trusted resource.
Yes.
Not by solutionizing and fixing, by listening and responding and asking interested questions, you become a trusted resource.
Yes.
Right? Like that is the ultimate. The other thing that was kind of popping up is like, again, the bar is so freaking low, people.
Yes.
It is so low. We got managers, we got people in managerial, and it's because we're human that have been promoted into manager roles, into VP, and they are insecure as all hell. And I'm not saying that that's a fault. That is a natural human occurrence. They're new to the role. They want to kick ass. They want to do really good. They don't know if they are. They don't know how to do it right. Very few of them have had amazing models to like learn from and emulate. And so because of our natural human insecurities, we come out funky. We want to project power and be the commanding voice in the room. And we do all of these things that undermine the overall mission, right? To kind of, so that's a natural human thing. So for those of us that have those leaders, it's like, okay, check in on them. Like, hey, bro, you got it going on. You and I had this conversation way back. I'm like, Jen, I don't know if you see this. There's this thing that's pretty freaking significant. do you even see it? And you were like, you didn't even believe me.
No.
Right? Like, what the hell are you? I was like,
I'm like,
no.
what do you want, Jesse? What are you?
Oh,
Where are you going? What's the angle?
you thought I was trying to like run some kind of scam on you. Well, we'll see. We still don't know if that's true or not. We got time. But anyways, that's what was in my head. The other thing that's in my head is the after party. So I'm dropping the links in the chat on the different things. This was a deep conversation. We only got into one question. So the question,
we had three questions ready. We got into one.
The thought was, we put all this work into our relationships, personal and professional, sorted out the problems, put things in order, shine the thing, standardize how we're going to do this. And then it's like, how do we sustain this thing? And I think for me, like kind of big takeaway, or the thing that stood out from what the tribe was contributing to the conversation is this idea of that checklist and the check-in. Like everybody's talking about their number one thing on the checklist to sustain the whatever effort, whatever progress we've made in our personal and professional relationships, which ultimately, for the listener out there in the Omniverse, like if you got a couple of points here that you're like, oh shit, I need to do that. Start doing them, man. Like Thomas said, within 24 hours, go have the conversation. Like Milo said, have the comfortable and uncomfortable conversations. Dr. Alejandra, we have a lot of ballers in here that provided some really extreme value in here that you can take and apply to your world. And so even though we didn't get to all the other questions, I feel like the tribe really freaking brought it today. What do you say, Jen?
Yes. And so I heard a quote yesterday, or it was a quote or someone said it like they had heard it before. And it is so relevant to this conversation today on just sustainable change. It says, it's not what they said, let me think how you say it. It is not what you preach. It is what you tolerate.
Oh, yes.
And that to be able to have sustainable change, like you may be saying something, but if you're tolerating bad behavior, if you're tolerating toxic, if you're tolerating things that are going to fester, like you're not going to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish.
Yes.
It's not what you preach. It is what you tolerate. And so if you want something different, like they have to match. They can't just be, I'm saying one thing, but I'm allowing this. And I think like we don't like, it's just in a nutshell, like that. It's hard because we're like, yeah, but they're a high performer. Yeah, but I love them. Or but they'll change. Like all the things that we tolerate. Like look back on things that you tolerated and they got better. Think about it. Because they don't usually get better.
They won't, they will get worse.
Yes.
Why? Because it takes less effort to get worse than it does to get better or sustain the current level.
Yep. So my challenge is just those that are out there, find 1, 2, 5, 10 people over the next couple of weeks before we get back on here and check on them. Just ask them how they're doing. Ask them, just again, you're looking at them. Hey, what's going on? What are you working on? Like, it doesn't matter. Just ask them.
Yes. 100%. I concur. And I'm just going to be lazy and close with a couple points. One, the link to the after party is in the chat. Do the clicking, do the Google Meet thing, whatever, so we can have continue this discussion, or rather, so I can hear from you guys, because there was a lot of meat in the conversation. The other is Dr. Alejandra says it, the bar so low, right? We promote and hope. We promote people to leadership roles and hope they have the skill set and the maturity and all the magical things. Now, maybe we should probably put some kind of a no BS tribe approved leaders, right? Because we have these discussions. And Miss Heather said, I lost it? There she is. Heather says, I love this subject. Communication convos are my jam, and hate that we messed up. Oh, because they're traveling all over the world. But you made it, Heather. Yes. Thank you for making it super, super supportive. And then where was my last point that I was going to make? I lost it because people are just keep coming in and I love it. Here it is, Mr. Milo. It takes maturity for a leader to see the practical side of a title before the privileges. I'm just going to close with that because gangsta, right? Like that was baller gangster level. Get there, come to the after party. We'll see y'all again in a couple of weeks. Chicken banana.